Hello everyone, glad to be back. Today is 10th of July, Monday. So I wish you a great day and a successful new week. Now it's 20 past 11 in the morning Moscow time. I'm Leonid Kuchma and this is my first update today, in which I will share all the main news that are making headlines in Russian media outlets and Russian language pages on different internet platforms. There are quite a few very significant developments and news that I like to share with you for this moment. But before I start, let me say thank to all of you for your attention and support. Yesterday, because of your activity in comment sections and because of your likes, we did manage to go through or deal with YouTube's algorithm, and on yesterday's update we have about 7,000 views, which is quite nice achievement for such tiny channel. So thank you very much. I hope you will leave some commentary today also on the video, and please click that like button. It does makes a huge difference. More comments and more likes definitely can influence on YouTube's algorithm. That's been said. Let's talk about news now. And first of all, I'll give you a quick summary of the situation on the front line. In general terms, it's operational pause still all along the front, from southern sectors to northern sectors, even though there are some local scale battles between the sides. But overall situation, it's still operational pause. In Kherson region, it's artillery duels and recon operations between the sides. Same is happening in Zaporozhye and South Donetsk sectors of the front line. A little bit more activity, of course, because this is a major direction of Ukrainian so-called counteroffensive that is in second month now. And there were some activities in this settlement in direction of Pitikhatki. Ukrainian forces, after they left their positions during previous 48 hours, this previous night and this morning, did try to re-enter that settlement, Pitikhatki, but they were met with artillery, and they are dispersed now in that area. Same did happen in the direction of Rabotina. I guess yesterday some rumors were circulating on internet that Rabotina has been taken by Ukrainian forces, but this is not true. I even been asking comment sections what is happening in Rabotina. This settlement is under full Russian control. There are some reports that Ukrainian forces did try to conduct local scale offensive from the northern side, from Orekhovo direction, but they were met also with artillery, with heavy artillery, including TOS-1A flamethrowers, Solntsepyok, devastating weapons. You all seen video footage of that effects of that weapon, and Ukrainian forces were dispersed. They did lost quite a few armored vehicles, but overall situation is probably, we can say, it's operational pause. Nothing is happening in the scale that will influence entire sector of the front, and same goes for South Donetsk sector of this front. Ukrainian forces do try to improve their positions in direction of this bridgehead that Russia controls between Ugledar and Gulyai-Pole, so-called Remevsky Ledge, but they are pretty much unsuccessful. And probably we will be right if we will say that Ukrainian forces are all along the front line are losing initiative, because we do have more and more reports that it's Russian forces that are more active during previous days. And of course, Donetsk direction, it's mainly two hot points, Marinka direction and Avdiivka, but yet again it's local scale skirmishes between the sides. Bakhmut direction, main hot point, still are on southern flank of the Bakhmut, this settlement under name of Klishevka, yes, but Klishevka is still under full Russian control. Same goes for Kurdyumovka, and we did have reports that Akhmat special forces have been deployed in direction of Klishevka. So I guess in coming days, Ukrainian side will completely lose its initiative, and Russian forces will become much more active. And the information that Ahmad special forces have been deployed in direction of Bakhmut may be received as an indicator that rumors that was circulating in internet during previous days about Russian preparations to conduct offensive in direction of Chistov Yar maybe are correct, because Ahmad special forces, they are storm troopers. They are extremely effective in any type of battle, but especially in urban type of battles. So maybe some preparations have been in place to conduct offensive in direction of Chistov Yar, but yet again, it's only time will tell. Direction of Seversk, it's usual hot points, Belogorovka mainly, and there are some reports that Russian forces, despite attempts from Ukrainian side to achieve any success in this sector, it's Russian forces that are conducting local scale offensive operations, not just in Belogorovka area, but also in Yampol Liman sector, and same goes for Kupiansk direction. I believe Russian forces are actively preparing large-scale offensive operation in the central and northern parts of the front line, and that's why right now we are seeing kind of operational pause. Initiative is in Russian hands, but yet again, in my reading of this picture, it seems like Russian forces are waiting for green light to begin their offensive. When they will receive green light, I don't know, but I'm quite sure some serious preparations have been in place to conduct large-scale offensive in central and the northern parts of the front line. So this is a quick summary of the situation. As I said, it's mainly operational pause all along the front, and Ukrainian forces definitely are losing initiative in every sector, in absolutely every sector of the front. Now let's talk about some other news, and this is TASS News Agency's report about a meeting that head of Russian General Staff Gerasimov did have with the military leaders, and one of the main topics of discussion was yesterday's attempt from Ukrainian side, from Zelensky's regime, to conduct large-scale missile strikes deep inside Russian territory. They did convert S-200 air defense systems missiles to be able to strike ground targets, and according to latest news that we have, at least four missiles were launched, some in direction of Crimean Bridge, some in Kaluga, the direction of Kaluga region and Rostov region. All missiles were destroyed. Some was shut down by air defense systems. Some missiles were suppressed by radio electronic warfare systems. But because of the fact itself that Zelensky's regime is converting ground-to-air missiles to be able to conduct ground operations, where is Russian leadership, I guess, and Gerasimov did give orders to Russian military to destroy all the launch points of S-200 missiles. I guess Russian side during next 24 to 48 hours probably will try to strike not just launch areas of S-200 missiles, but also manufacturing plants where these missiles, air defense systems missiles, were converted to be able to conduct ground strikes. So I would not be surprised if we will see massive strikes on Ukrainian military infrastructure in coming days, especially manufacturing plants where these missiles have been modernized. And by the way, this attempt from Zelensky's regime to strike Crimean Bridge and to strike deep inside Russian territory 2 days before summit in Vilnius once again highlights how desperate Zelensky and his associates are, and the Western masters also, because they don't really have anything whatsoever to highlight during Vilnius NATO summit. They don't have any more or less significant success on the battlefield, and not just that, but as I said, they are losing initiative all along the front line. So maybe because of that desperation, Zelensky's regime will try to conduct some missile strikes today also or tomorrow. They may try to conduct some terrorist activity, not just in deep inside Russian territory, but in the direction of Zaporozhye nuclear power plant also. So I guess Russian forces are prepared. They are calculating all the possible moves from Zelensky's regime, and hopefully they will manage to deal with any threats that will be generated by Zelensky and his associates. Let me continue now. RIA Novosti is reporting that yesterday afternoon, Lavrov, head of Russian Foreign Ministry, Sergei Lavrov had a phone conversation with his Turkish colleague, and they discuss some, few topics, regional stuff, and also topic of commanders of Azov formation that were captured by Russian side during operation in Mariupol, and then were exchanged on some Russian POWs, and one Ukrainian oligarch. And according to that deal, these commanders, these Azov commanders, should stay in Turkey as long as this conflict is continues in Ukraine. But as you know, Erdogan did make decision to free those fighters, and they are now in Ukraine. And according to Russian news agency, Lavrov did mention during the conversation that this development won't help to improve relations between the sides, between Russia and Turkey. And Lavrov also articulated the fact that Turkey is continuing to support Zelensky's regime militarily, which is also have been noticed by Moscow. And well, I guess Lavrov did try to emphasize Moscow's frustration about all this stuff. I don't think relationships between Moscow and Ankara will deteriorate in coming days significantly, but well, Erdogan did create significant issues in the relationships. Maybe guess or prediction of Dima, host of Military Summary channel, is correct, and maybe some kind of deal was done between Moscow and Ankara in regards of these Azov commanders. Maybe, and if that's the case, then relationships probably between Russia and Turkey will not deteriorate. But if not, then these two countries are entering some hot waters, I guess. I mean, relationships of these two countries, between two countries. And by the way, next news is reported by RT, and according to this article, Biden pressures Turkey's leadership to allow NATO expansion. Of course, we are talking about Sweden. Well, I would not be surprised if Ankara will agree Sweden to become a member of NATO. But to be honest, I'm not quite sure that Swedish ruling elites truly want to be members of NATO, and in my understanding, that's why they are allowing so many provocations to take place in Sweden to somehow aggravate relationships with Turkey and make sure that they will not receive approval to join NATO. That's my take on it. But anyway, after Erdogan's move in regards to those Azov commanders, anything can be considered, including possibility that Turkey will agree to receive Sweden in NATO. And the next news is also very interesting and important. Dmitry Medvedev, former Russian president and current deputy chairman of the Russian Security Council, did react on informations that were circulating in Russian segment of internet and I guess worldwide, that Zelensky's regime was planning to attack Smolensk nuclear power plant. And well, Medvedev was very strong. Medvedev did choose very strong words in his comment, and he said that if Zelensky's regime will attack Russian nuclear power plants, then Russia has all the rights to take out nuclear power plants in Ukraine, and there are quite a few. South Ukraine nuclear power plant, Rovensky nuclear power plant, and Khmelnytsky nuclear power plant. And Dmitry Medvedev also said that not just those power plants can be struck, but also nuclear facilities in the Eastern Europe. So I don't know what is going on really. Why Medvedev come up with such a strong statement, but what I can say is that it definitely worries me that topic of nuclear weapons, nuclear power plants, nuclear energy constantly in the headlines, and God forbid any provocation will take place. World truly may end up in nuclear devastation. How you gonna comment this, man? And by the way, Medvedev is not just any official. He is a high-ranking Russian official, and he does have much more information than we will ever have. And maybe Zelensky's regime, with the active support of Western elites, truly are planning to conduct some huge nuclear provocation. And Medvedev just said that response from Moscow will be extremely harsh. Well, let's hope nothing will happen, but that's a topic that have been discussed in Russian media. Next news is about Poland and the Polish support of Zelensky's regime. TASS news agency is reporting that Poland recently did a transfer to Zelensky's regime 10 Mi-24 attack helicopters. I did share video of that transfer on my Telegram yesterday. Many of you probably did see. And by the way, I do ask you to join my Telegram. Join my Telegram. You will see a link on this video in the description box. I do share links to my updates on Telegram regularly, on quite a few times a day, so you won't miss update. Where is that video? As you can see, I do share a lot of news on Telegram on daily basis, and that's it. By the way, this is Polish Mi-24s that have been transferred by ground to Zelensky's regime. Well, of course, these helicopters won't be game changer, that's for sure. Mi-24s are very capable helicopters, old Soviet era, but still very capable helicopters. But in situation when air defense systems are extremely active, and Russia do have quite effective air defense systems, I don't think these helicopters will fly too long. 1 or 2 sorties, and they will be, if they are lucky, they will manage to do 1 or 2 sorties, and then they will be shut down for sure. But this information once again highlights attitude of Polish elites. They will go to any length to somehow damage Russia or Russian interests. Let me continue. TASS news agency is reporting about Western media and Western media's take on topic of cluster munition that will be delivered to Zelensky's regime by Biden's administration, by US government. And we had an article in Le Monde, French, one of the major French media outlet, I guess, and according to Le Monde, this decision by Washington to deliver cluster munition definitely highlights not the strong side of Washington, but its weakness. And by the way, who can disagree with this? Biden himself did said that this decision to deliver cluster munition was made because of shortages of ordinary shells. And there are some reports that, despite statements from Washington that these cluster munitions are modernized and a very small percentage of these mines will not explode during the impact. There are many reports on internet that in reality these munitions are not just old, but 40%. They have a very bad statistics, and 14% of mines usually are not activated when this cluster munition is used. And in each shell there are about 80 small mines. And imagine how many shells will be used by Zelensky's regime, and just calculate 14%, about 14% from those munitions. Entire sectors of the land will be scattered will be full with unexploded mines, and that's why tens of organizations, even Western ones, are criticizing this decision by Washington. Even some European governments did criticize this move, but yet again, do Washington cares about any of it? Of course not. Of course not. But yet again, I will agree with Le Monde that this step from Washington definitely highlights weakness of Washington, not its strong side. Next information is from our team, and this news is about Russian Foreign Ministry's response on decision of France to increase its military aid to Zelensky's regime. And official representative of Russian Foreign Ministry, Maria Zakharova, did criticize official Paris for its activization, and yet again, none of the weapons that France did deliver to Zelensky's regime did play a role of game changer. Here, for example, IMX-10 tank, light tank. On the picture, I guess majority of these tanks that France did supply to Ukraine already been taken out. I did share many videos of it on my Telegram page, but yet again, well, what can Moscow do in this case? just rise its just criticize, really, just to make some statements, because unfortunately there is no ways that Moscow can influence decision-making process in the West. And after all, we all do know perfectly well that French government, President of France, not makes any decision, really. He is a puppet, and he will do whatever he is told to do by real rulers of the Western world. So yes, Maria Zakharova did criticize. She said that the goal is spinning in his grave. His country is supporting Nazis, and well, yes, some historical parallels, but yet again, it's not just France. France's government is supposed to be shamed, but just all the governments in Europe, with exception of a few states like Hungary and Serbia. All other European governments do support this Nazi regime, unfortunately, and they are shameless. They just don't care, and no statements from Moscow will influence them. Let me continue now, and oh, that's quite interesting. RIA Novosti is reporting about interview that former aide of former Ukrainian President Leonid Kuchma, Oleg Soskin, did give to one of the YouTube channels, and he said that he did made statements on his own YouTube channel. Sorry, and he said that the situation in Ukraine is developing towards yet another revolution, because Zelensky is losing support in rapid pace, support of public, and well, this person, former aide of Ukrainian president, criticizes Zelensky for his stand on NATO. Basically, he did destroy Ukraine for no reason, for his crazy idea that Ukraine will be able to join NATO. And well, maybe Soskin is right, and situation in Ukraine and public opinion is shifting dramatically against Zelensky. But yet again, according to information that we are receiving, Zelensky now is a like dictator there. No one can oppose him, and if society will even try to conduct some demonstrations against him, I guess armed forces that are loyal to Zelensky will just take them out. So maybe Soskin is right, and Zelensky is losing significantly public support, but he is a dictator, and the only force in Ukraine that can deal with him is army and secret services, and army and secret services are under control of Washington and London. So without authorization from the West, Zelensky would not be touched. So unfortunately, Ukrainian society did push it. I mean, are in the situation when they can do nothing really, and their opinion means nothing in modern day Ukraine. Unfortunately, I guess many Ukrainians are sorry that they did vote for this crazy individual who was promising peace, by the way. Many may forget, but Zelensky during his presidential campaign was talking about peace and how he gonna resolve conflict in the eastern regions, and how he gonna defend Russian language and so on. And once he become a president, he changed his opinions 180 degrees, and he become basically a spokesperson of neo-Nazis and extremists. and he definitely did destroy Ukraine. That's factual, true. But yet again, I don't think Oleg Soskin is. I don't think his prediction is correct, because even if situation is moving towards revolution, Ukrainian society has no tools to influence regime. Let me continue. Interfax is reporting that Finland made yet another steps to escalate with Russia, and as I did report previously, Helsinki did made decision to make it much harder for Russian citizens to travel in Finland, to receive visas, and also no surprises. I guess in foreseeable future, relationships between Russia and Finland will reach its lowest point since the Second World War, and it will stay that way for maybe even decades to come. And yet again, unfortunately, Moscow have no say in this matter, because it's Finnish elites that are escalating, not Russian elites. Russian side is responding. And by the way, a few more news about some economical stuff. RT is reporting that, and you may find this information interesting and surprising. US businesses did contribute in tax payments for Russian budget quite significantly, and in 2022, according to statistics, US-based companies did pay about over $700 million to Russian budget as tax, which is, I was surprised when I see this, and probably you will be surprised also. 700 million in taxes. It's not like extreme amount of money, but still it's quite something, isn't it? So as you can see, US companies are still quite active on Russian market, and will probably try everything to maintain their positions on Russian market, because it's after all, Russian market is quite significant for thousands and thousands of businesses from Europe or from North America or from any other place in this world. And by the way, you will definitely find this news also surprising. RIA Novosti is reporting that a major gas supplier for Spain is none other than Russia. Despite all these sanctions and pressure from the West on Russia, and these strong statements on daily basis, exchange of strong statements, well, business goes as usual, it seems like. And well, Russia is a major gas supplier for Spain, and this time we are talking about LNG, not pipe gas, not pipeline gas, but LNG. And according to statistics, Russia is number one supplier of LNG to Spain, and has about 27%, 26.8% of market there. And on second place is Algeria. And Algeria has did export to Spain so yes, Algeria is in second place with the margin of the market 8.5%, 18.55%. No, I get confused. Sorry about this. So Russia has a 26.8% share on LNG market in Spain, and that's first position. Second is Algeria with 21% of share, and third is USA with 18.5%. Sorry about this confusion. And I'm not gonna record this update all over the again because of it. But yes, information itself is quite surprising and interesting, because as I said, despite confrontation between the sides, and Spain is actively supporting Zelensky's regime, unfortunately, and they do send armored personal carriers, main battle tanks, and God knows what else. Spanish government should be shame of itself, but they are shameless, I guess, like many other governments in Europe that are supporting Nazis. But same time, business does finds its way anyway. And well, Russia is a major supplier of energy, in this case gas, for Spain. Wow, I did not expect that. But anyway, this is it for now. I hope you will find this video interesting, and if so, well, I have to deal with this lighting stuff. So I hope you will find this update interesting. Quite short video today, and if so, please click that like button. Please leave some commentary about any topic you like. As I mentioned in the beginning of update, more likes and comments definitely do influence YouTube's algorithm. And if you can, please share links to my videos or my channel with your friends on Facebook, Twitter, Telegram, or any other platform that you are active on. That will also greatly increase chances to reach wider audience. And if you think this channel is interesting, has some potential, and are useful, please consider to support with small donations through PayPal, Buy Me a Coffee, or by subscribing to my Patreon page. You will see links under this video in the description box or in the pinned comment. This is it for now. I wish you a great day and successful week. Take care and see you soon. Thank you.